Now I would like to request Professor Tarni for proceeding the session. Professor Tarni.
Good morning to one and all. Good afternoon, everyone. So, perfection is not attainable, but if we chase perfection, we can catch excellence. With this, I, Assistant Professor Tarini Pandey, co-rapporteur of the session, would like to extend my warm welcome to the session chair, Dr. Harish Agrawal sir, co-session chair, Dr. Geeta Rana ma'am, keynote speaker, Dr. Dheeraj Sharma sir, principal sir, Dr. S.S. Bhakar, participants for today's session, my fellow colleagues, and my dear students. Warm greetings to all of you on behalf of Prestige Institute of Management to the 12th International Business and Marketing Conferences, Technical Session 15, General Management 3. Good afternoon to one and all. Now, I would like to call out, and I feel extremely honored to introduce the co-session chair, Dr. Geeta Rana ma'am. Dr. Geeta Rana ma'am is an associate professor, Department of HSMS at Swami Ram Himalayan University, Jolly Grant, Dehradun. She has earned her PhD from Indian Institute of Technology, Roorkee in management. She is also an alumni of Indian Institute of Management, Rohtak. She is engaged in teaching, research, and consultancy assignments. She has more than 14 years of experience in teaching and in handling various administrative as well as academic positions. She has, to her credit, over more than 50 papers published in referred ABDC category journals of Emerald, Sage, Springer, Taylor, and Francis L. Seaver and Indoscience. She also presented several research papers in national and international conferences. She has authored, edited many books published by Taylor and Francis, Nova Science, and New Age publications. She has conducted and attended various workshops, FDPs, and MDPs in India, abroad. Dr. Rana is recipient of many national and international awards. Her research interests include managerial effectiveness, employer branding, talent management, attractiveness, knowledge management, green human resource management. And now I request the co-session chair, Dr. Geeta Rana ma'am, to address the gathering. Ma'am, please.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Tarini ma'am. Such a wonderful words about me. And I really thankful to the organizing committee members to this international conference who give me the chance here, co-session this chair. And I really appreciate and invite all the speakers to present their paper, and all the best, all the presenters. And thank you so much and all the best.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your kind words. Now, I feel profusely overjoyed to take this opportunity to introduce our session chair, Professor Harish Agrawal, sir. Professor H.K. Agrawal, sir, has obtained MCom degree with third position and PhD in Commerce from Jivaji University, Gwalior. He is working as professor and head Department of Commerce, Government KRG Autonomous College, Gwalior. He has teaching experience of more than 3 decades in traditional classes, including professional courses. He has research experience of more than 2 decades and has produced 11 PhD under his supervision, and 8 students are also registered for PhD. He has attended about 75 national and international seminars with contributing research papers. He has published 23 research papers in national and international journals and edited books. He has edited 2 books and 5 textbooks are published by him. He is the chairman of Board Studies, Commerce, KRG College Gwalior, and member of many Board of Studies in various educational institutions. Has also been a member of Central Board of Studies, Bhopal. He has contributed a lot in introduction of various courses in KRG College, has also been in charge of Jan Bhagidari Samiti, has also been convener in various committees. With this, I request the session chair for this session, Dr. Harish Agrawal, sir, to address the audience. Sir, please.
Thank you, Tani, madam. Respected and honorable Geeta Rana, madam, coordinator of the session, Tarni Madam and Paliwal ji, Director of the Institute, Bhakar ji. First of all, I would like to congratulate to Dr. Bhakar, who is the leader of this research movement in this institute, and the team of organizing this event. Definitely, this is the wonderful event organized by this institute. The topic of this international conference is extremely useful and having relevance to present and demand of the future also. As we know, entire world, including India, has adopted compression and online system at use level and also continuously running fast toward this track. Although India's speed is slower rather than the Western countries. Digitization is nothing. It is just a basis of computation. It is process of converting data in digital format, which is readable by the computer, or we can say the entire online system is depend upon the digitalization. We can observe the use of data on the basis of just a data. The 1 TB data means 1032 GB can store almost 6.5 million document pages, 250 movies, or 250,000 photos. So we can see here, this digitization is very important, very useful for the present and future progress. As we know, India is the 5th largest economy, followed by America, China, Japan, and Germany. And it is one of the fastest economy in the world. And it is also third by purchasing power parity. And we are going to shift it from goods-based economy to service-based economy. Definitely to rapid economic growth, to achieve the target of 3 trillion economy set by our Honorable Prime Minister. Our Prime Minister, actually complete online system is the demand of the future, and it is not possible without fast digitalization. As far as concerned use of the digitalization for the managers, we can say that the manager have so much activities to perform in routine life. They can organize virtual meetings. They can perform the performance management, talent acquisition, attendance management, etc. And the most important phenomena of the digitalization came into our knowledge in the era of COVID-19, when the maximum IT companies introduced the work from home. Now we can imagine if there was no digitalization, definitely it was not possible to work from home. I think the future of digitalization is also very clear, very bright, because we have fast computerization and online system, online commerce system, e-commerce in the future, and every activity is going to be computerized and on online system. And one thing is important, that is artificial intelligence, and the future will be of the artificial intelligence. That is either field of defense, or the field of commerce, or the field of everything. We will see the role of robot everywhere, and this progress is not possible without digitalization in India. And India can lead in the artificial intelligence through digitalization. I hope this session, which is the digitalization and general management, will focus the important aspects of the digitalization in respect of general management that will be useful for the research students and the policymakers of the Indian government. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, sir, for your noble thoughts. Now, I would like to welcome our honorable keynote speaker, Dr. Dheeraj Sharma, sir. Dr. Dheeraj Sharma, sir, earned master's and doctorate degrees in marketing management from Jivaji University, Gwalior, and also completed PGP courses on marketing and analytics from IIMA and ISB Hyderabad. Apart from industry strengths with TCI Limited and Alok Fiber Cares Limited, he worked inter alia with business schools like IMT Ghaziabad, ISB Hyderabad, and IIM Ahmedabad. He also served as a visiting professor to the institutes like IIM Rohtak and Chonam National University, South Korea. His PhD thesis was awarded third prize at the 7th AIMS International Conference at IIM Bengaluru. He has published in top-rated international journals of repute. The government of India recently deputed him to the Royal University of Bhutan, where he is serving as a professor of marketing. Now, I would like to request the keynote speaker, Dr. Dheeraj Sharma, sir, to throw some lights on the keynotes. Please, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Tarini Pandey. I am so grateful that Prestige Institute of Management gave me this opportunity to be keynote speaker in this elite conference here. And this has been, time and again, I feel like belonging to Gwalior, because this is one conference I keep on looking forward to, every year. It's one of the good conference, and I have enjoyed literally being there several times before. So I think I am not little late. This is because of the, in this remote location, the internet connectivity is little poor, and I'm not sure if there is connectivity issues, then I would connect with you on WhatsApp.
No, sir, you want time.
Yeah, I am on time. So I thought I missed Harish Agrawal sir's notes here, and I was figuring out which paper he is speaking on. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. So you're not late. We are just done with the introduction of Harish Agrawal sir and Geeta Rana ma'am, and you're the third one now. Yes, sir. We have not started with the papers yet.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So I think without losing time, because we have 15 papers here, we should start, and if time is left over, then we can have a discussion thereafter.
Okay, sir. Okay, thank you so much, sir. Moving towards the rules and regulations for our presentation. So there will be only one speaker out of all the authors. The speaker has to raise their hand and come forward with the PowerPoint presentation as soon as the name is announced. The speaker has to share his or her screen displaying the PowerPoint presentation along with the video of self. Time allotted to each presenter will be approximately 8 minutes, including question and answer, 6 minutes for presentation and 2 minutes question answers. Time duration may further vary according to the panelists. All the participants are requested to have broadband connection, Wi-Fi. Login must be done from laptops and personal computers instead of mobile. Screen sharing rights will be given to all the participants. So let's call our first presenter now. The title of the paper is Employability Skills to Meet Industry. Harish sir, Geeta ma'am and Dheeraj sir, shall we start with the presentation?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure, go ahead, ma'am.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. It is authored by Dr. K. Chitra, Dr. D. Jayanti, and Mrs. G. Suganya. So I would request the presenter to please raise the hand so that we can unmute you and you can start on with your presentation. Please come forward. The presenter for employability skills to meet industry.
So,
Yeah. Suganya.
Suganya. Suganya Guru, are you there?
Yes, Suganya is there.
yes, I think she is literally
Yes.
raising hand instead
Yeah.
of.
I'm here, ma'am.
Okay, okay.
Can you
Actually,
see
you
me?
had to raise the hand in the Zoom app itself. We could not see your video. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Yes. So you're audible to us. You can start on with the presentation. We are starting with the timer, ma'am. Okay.
Yes, yes.
Okay. You may start.
Yeah. Yeah. So thank you very much for the opportunity. Very good afternoon to one and all present here. So my particular research, so I'll first introduce myself. So myself, Suganya Ji, I'm working as a research assistant at Sri Ramakrishna College of Arts and Science for Women from Coimbatore, Tamil Nadu, basically. So my particular research is about the employability skills to meet Industry 4.0. So to talk about Industry 4.0, it is basically a kind of a revolution where machines will be equipped with the ability to communicate. So when everything is going to be totally about machine management and everything is going to be depend totally about on the technology exactly. So this is kind of a revolution wherein it is a modern insurgency actually that connects people, process and machine. So my particular research revolves around these four major categories like the fourth industrial revolution, employability skills, the graduates readiness and the skills required for the graduates to cope up with the industry. So the major variables for the study were around 21 variables like we have proposed. And these propositions are based on the reports which were published by World Bank Group, by Manpower Groups in the year 2008 and 2009, and McKinsey Global Institutions report, which was published about the skill set for graduates in the year 2019 and from the report which was published by World Economic Forum, even 2020 January report. And so based on these particular reports and also from the opinions that we got from the HR managers who are exactly in the industry. So based on all their opinions and the contributions, we have arrived at these variables for the study. So based on the review of literature which was conducted, we were able to understand that not many studies were focusing about the exact awareness and extension of readiness among the faculty and students together as a combination. And there weren't be like more studies which were talking about the gap and the perception of industry faculty and students. And there were also not many studies which were conducted to study exactly the influence and the contributions from the rural and urban college students. And also there weren't any comparisons between the arts and science and engineering students exactly. So we were trying to study about the gaps and the perceptions among students of all these categories. And so our main objective is to understand the expected skill sets by the industry exactly to meet the 4IR. So these are the hypotheses which we have proposed, and it's exactly each skill set we are trying to understand whether it is meeting the industry's expected skill sets. So basically when we talk about cognitive skill sets, it exactly means about the students' level of paying attention, their level of learning and their ability to remember and solve problems. And socio-emotional skills is something which has been proposed in major of the reports as the major one because handling emotions is something really difficult. And in this particular era of totally dependent on technology, it becomes a vital one to be possessed. And job relevant skills, definitely. And learning agility. And learning agility here means not just about the bookish learning, but about the differences and the technological revolutions which we had to incorporate as immediately as possible. And about the interpersonal skills, adaptability, conflict resolution here means not just the conflicts which arises among the employees, but with the industry, with the people, with the customers, with the stakeholders on a whole. And the other hypothesis which you're proposing is the skill which tells about self-determination and technological skills, definitely, which is a vital one for this particular 4IR. Analytical skills, innovations, creativity and originality. Here we bring in this particular creativity and originality because when everything is being technologically based, so people tend to use something proposed by the others very easily. So even in this particular revolution, it becomes very important to be more creative and to bring in more original ideas. And critical thinking and analysis, leadership, because though it is technologically based and everyone is running behind technological adaptations, showing one's uniqueness and handling becomes more important. And the ability to work for societal well-being definitely becomes a core competency. And work analysis, communication, collaboration in the sense not just within the industrial collaborations, but also the collaboration that we had to maintain with the environment as well. And empathy to customers, relationship building, and domain knowledge. Domain knowledge here means mainly about the field they work in and about the company that they work in, and also about the main skills that they had to possess to meet all the things that has been expected from one. And so this particular research has been a kind of an explorative approach because we try to explore and find out.
Ma'am, I request you to move towards the conclusion now, please.
Yeah, sure. So based on all these hypotheses which I have proposed, this is the proposition model for our study. And so the final results, it's like this particular study arrives at this particular robust model to prove the necessity of skill sets to survive in this particular technological revolution. So our particular study helps to sort out the understanding of the expected skill set required to meet the fourth industrial revolution and to survive in that. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Now I request the panelists, sir and ma'am, to please go ahead with the question and answers.
The questions are also open for the audience now, participants?
Yes,
Participants
sir.
also can ask the question now?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
For that, they must have to raise their hand.
If the participants are interested in asking questions, they are requested to raise their hands. Sir and ma'am, any questions for this particular paper?
Sir, please, you first, sir. Harish, sir.
No, thanks, madam. You can ask.
Okay. So the title of the paper is very attractive and demand of today's scenario, ma'am. And though paper is well structured, but there are some few observations. Suganya, ma'am. So basically, you have developed one models
Yes,
which explain expected skill set requirement, like I have seen, to meet the fourth industrial revolution, right? And for the same, you used exploratory approach and done extensive
Yes,
literature
yes.
review, right? So in question number 1 is that in my according to
Yes,
your
yes.
research paper. So in research gap, you have mentioned that earlier skill used by student, faculty, and industry people were different. And for industry 4.0, new skill is required, right?
Yes, yes.
But when you propose the skill set to meet industry 4.0, like you mentioned cognitive, social, emotional, job relevant, adaptability, etc. Moreover, so these are the same which are using or used by before industry 4.0 revolution.
Okay.
So could you please clarify that?
Sure. So we are
Yeah.
yes, ma'am. So we are trying to tell that initially it was just the soft skills and hard skills, like the one which were listed in the first section, are majorly ones focused. So now what you're proposing is the major ones, like in the soft skills and hard skills, which there was a huge list in that we have picked out only these particular skills, and we have added the other skills which are also gaining more importance. So we're not telling like the old skills aren't required. So we tell like the few skills which we have been used as the vital ones previously, and plus the new skills we have added to the list.
Okay. It's okay, chaliye. So, and the most important question is about hypothesis development. and their analysis, right? So like, and afterwards proposed conceptual model for industry 4.0. Like, I'm not getting how you develop your hypothesis, right? N number of hypotheses in any research paper is not required, right? And I'm right, Harish sir?
Yes, yes, madam. Yes.
The n number of hypotheses in any research paper is not required.
Not more required, only 2 or 3.
I think this is the 13 or 14 hypotheses, 14, 15 hypotheses, right, sir?
Very large number. Very large number.
Very large number is, yes. No? And after that, you proposed a model. Yes, your hypothesis is accepted. Now we are proposing this research model, proposed model. है ना? So on what basis you are you done analysis? There is no explanation. If you are going to do any
Yes, ma'am.
Giving any theoretical explanation, तो वो भी आपका paper, there is no such type of explanation.
Yes,
right?
yes, ma'am.
These are the some observations. Suppose your paper is going further publication, so you need to do some changes in your paper, like positive side.
Yes, sure. Right. Since because this was a conceptual paper which I have conference, so I have not explained the data analysis part. So I just stopped it with the proposed model.
It's okay. So these are the some positive observations.
Yeah.
So please keep in mind, like if it further go for publication, so you just keep it.
Sure. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Okay.
Thank you. Suganya. Yes. Thank you, Suganya. You have presented a good paper, conceptual paper.
Thank you.
As we discussed by madam, you did not use any statistical tool to testify the hypothesis. And no hypothesis can be proved without the statistical tool. So you must add this part.
Yes.
Okay. Otherwise, your paper is good, and your conclusions are also important for the researchers. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Suganya ma'am, I have a very brief question to you.
Yes.
I think I missed out hearing you somewhere. What are the dimensions or variables or the skill set which you are proposing to be added into the existing scales? So, and on what basis did you propose? These are the two twin questions.
Okay, sir. So other than the ones which were the existing skill set, the ones which we have added majorly is the skill set called ability to work for societal well-being. And the other major skill set that we have proposed is critical thinking and analysis combined together. Other than that, we have also included something called as empathy to customers. So these skill sets are being proposed based on the skill report which was published by Indian Skills Report, and also based on the report published by McKinsey's report, wherein even in this technological revolution, the importance of contributing to the society as well as the importance of contributing analytically, like with the critical evaluation, becomes more important. So that is our point here.
Okay, I suggest rather than calling it as a kind of exploratory research paper, you better frame it as a structural or thematic literature review paper. That would be a good beginning.
Okay.
Yes.
So that is quite an insightful, research area. And if you come out with a good research, this is highly sellable as well. Many companies may be interested in listening to you. Thank you so much for being
Thank you so much, sir.
Giving so insightful research paper. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, sir.
So next, GM021.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you, Suganya ma'am. Moving on to our second presenter. The title of the paper is The Artificial Intelligence and Intellectual Property Laws in India, an Empirical Study, which is authored by Dr. D. Thirumala Rao. So I request Dr. D. Thirumala Rao to please raise your hand. Okay, I don't think he has joined by now. So let's move on to the third presenter. So the third presenter, the title of the paper is Study on Use of Mobile Wallets During Lockdown in Bengaluru. which is a full paper authored by Mr. Krishan Beriwal and Dr. Prachi.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible.
Yeah. Okay. Just share the screen. Is the screen visible?
Yes,
Yes, the
yes.
screen. Yeah, it is visible.
Yes, you can proceed.
Yeah. Hello. Good day to all the respected dignitaries present here. I'm Krishan Beriwal, currently in third year, pursuing my BTech in mechanical stream at Sir M. Vishweshwara Institute of Technology, Bengaluru, Karnataka. First of all, I would like to thank all the organizers for giving me this platform to present my study on the usage of mobile wallets during the lockdown in Bengaluru. Mobile wallets, something unheard, unseen of a decade ago, and today it has become an essential part of almost our lives, almost all of our lives. So, without any further ado, let's begin. So, what exactly is a mobile wallet? Mobile wallet is a digital wallet that stores our banking information on a mobile application. So, I'll just take you through the journey of how transaction system in India has evolved. So who had ever thought that a century back that monetary transactions could ever go digital? This cashless economy actually began back in 1984 with the MICR technology, and within a span of 3 years, the first ATM was installed in Calcutta. In 1988, RBI set up computerized settlement operations, and after a decade, the core banking software came into picture. When the millennial year started, uh, internet banking came into action in 2001. Then, in a couple of new systems were introduced like NFS, RTGS, NEFT, mobile banking, and IMPS. In 2016, the Unified Payment Interface, also known as UPI, was introduced, followed by BHIM in 2017. So we can see how the banking services have evolved in the last 3 decades. Now, what are the few applications of mobile wallets? So we can book and pay for our travel, buy goods without having zero currency notes in our wallets, transfer money to anyone, anywhere in the world, and manage bank account with a single touch on a smartphone. So, are these mobile wallets really an essential part of our lives? Due to the ongoing pandemic, way back on 25th of March, a nationwide lockdown was announced by our Honorable Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi. During the lockdown, only the medical stores, grocery stores, and other daily essentials stores were operating. As paper currency were considered a medium for the transmission of the coronavirus, people were afraid to use it. Hence, they switched to mobile wallets for exchange of money. So a lot of articles were referred to convert my idea into this research work. A few of them are as follows. So the study is about awareness, attitude, and usage of mobile wallets amongst people residing in Bengaluru, focusing more on the usage of mobile wallets during the lockdown period. The main objectives of the study are to analyze financial activities through digital wallet and the factors which influence them to adopt mobile wallets. Everything new we do may limit us in some or other another. This research work has also had its own limitations. So like there are a few limitations. Time was the biggest constraint. Data collection had its own challenges. Since this is my first research paper, I could not get into details of research like my fellow presenters, but tried my level best to present you my thoughts behind the topic. My primary data includes collecting of first-hand information from around 100 people who use digital wallets through structured closed-ended questions focusing on the demographic profile, usage pattern, and limitations of mobile wallet. Collected information was coded, analyzed, and interpreted through graphs. Secondary data was taken from census, research papers, and government publications. So first, this table shows the demographic profile distribution of people using mobile wallets. I'm sorry. If we can see 42.9% of the users were below the age of 20, whereas 3 by 4 of them were females. Approximately half of them were married and majority of them were students. Everything has its analysis showed that 42.9% of them used mobile wallets for purchasing of daily essential items. 38 of 100 people used mobile wallets only a few times a month, like not on a regular basis, just a few times a month, whereas majority of them subscribed to it during the lockdown. As mentioned before, people were afraid to use currency notes, hence they subscribed to online payments. everything has its own pros and cons. Around 38% people faced issues using mobile wallets, in which majority of them faced UPI issues. When asked about the factors which influenced them to use mobile wallets, protection from coronavirus was the reason for almost half of the people. 30 out of 100 people wanted to discontinue using mobile wallets as half of them faced high cost of data access, whereas 80% of people would recommend others to subscribe to mobile wallets. Coming to the conclusion, as we can see how adoption of mobile wallets have played an important role in our lives, not only for making payments easy, but also refraining us in spread of coronavirus. According to a research, it has been predicted that by the year 2025, more than half of the population will switch to digital payments compared to 41% who might stick to cash payments and remaining may continue using other payment modes like check, demand drafts, etc. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Krishan. Okay, I request the panelists now. Sir and ma'am, please go ahead with the question and answers.
So Krishan ji, you have a nice concept and very interesting paper, a very contemporary one as well. You have identified
sir.
3 objectives in your research paper. These 3 research objectives you did not study completely. So the least you could have done here is to tell the mostly used wallet in Bengaluru or wherever. Bengaluru, no?
Yes, sir, Bengaluru.
Yeah. So which was the most used
Wallet.
wallet?
Application.
Okay. You know, long ago I came across with this student doing the research on the online news portals usage, but most of the times what happened we do not really need the research to be done, because these are factual informations and the data gathered from the internet service provider can tell you the facts without you have to collect the data from the survey, because survey could be erroneous. Your students could be giving the eccentric picture of the whole view of the industry. So this is okay. Your literature review is very terse, only one research paper of 2015 and another of 2016. But on the whole, this is good. You could have done 2 things here. One is you could have applied either Mann-Whitney or sign test, or you could have developed some interesting hypothesis. For example, the educational background and the preference for a particular app, or for say example the profession and the app usage. So that you could have tested these kind of hypotheses using the same data without having interval or ratio scale data or any kind of very serious questionnaire or research done. You could simply apply chi-square test and figure out this, make it this paper further interesting and more publishable, publish worthy. So thank you so much. If you, I pass on the baton to Madam Geeta and Harish sir for further questions.
Thank you so much. The same observation is mine, sir, like Dheeraj sir. Like somehow the methodology section is a little bit confusing from my side. Like in primary data, you have mentioned the observation, questionnaire, and close-ended, close-ended questions. And similarly, you have also mentioned that intervene pattern. So this is a little bit confusing. So this is my observation and the suggestion for the further publication. So you enrich this methodological section, as sir also suggested you add some tool also here. So same from my side. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay. My observation also same like 2 other panelists. But I would like to ask one question from Krishna ji.
Yes, sir.
What is your sample size?
So we've taken 100 people, sir. Survey was conducted among 100 people.
100 people from entire Bengaluru.
No, we just sent it to people who were using mobile wallets.
Mobile wallet. So this sample is out of how many persons? How many
So,
percent?
people are in our friend circle, in our community, in our education field. Like in my college, it was conducted among my friends as well as the faculty members. And in my mother's college, it was sent among her colleagues. So it was collected like that. In our apartment, it was sent to a few people. So it was
Then,
on random basis we had selected people. It's not specific people.
right, right. Do you think that if you have selected such a sample with the restricted area, then it may be representing to the entire Bengaluru?
No, we had actually selected like not just restricted to one particular community. It was just sent like on like a few students, few faculty members, few office going people, few housewives, and then few people who work from home, like who don't go to office, like that. It's distributed among in that category, not just like one particular community.
Okay, thanks. Thanks.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir and ma'am. Thank you so much, Mr. Krishan.
Thank you, ma'am.
Moving on to our next presenter. The title of the paper is Data Journalism and its Impact on the Society on Issues Related to Health, which is a full paper written by Dr. Pooja and Dr. Pranab Kumar. So I request them to please come forward.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. I'll just take a moment to share the screen.
Sure.
A very good afternoon. I hope I am audible.
Yes, yes, you are.
Yeah. A very good afternoon to all the panelists. I take this opportunity to thank Prestige Institute of Management, Gwalior, to provide me an opportunity to present my paper. I, along with my co-author, Dr. Pranab Kumar, have jointly written this paper on which is titled as Data Journalism and its Impact on the Society on Issues Related to Health. Ma'am, I hope the screen is visible.
Yes, yes.
Yes, it
Yes,
is
very
visible.
much.
So the keywords as such of our paper are data journalism, health, epidemics, pandemics, and COVID-19. And the variables included in the study are data journalism, health, epidemics, and pandemics. Basically, the paper talks about the use of data and statistics, which is used to make the content of a news piece or article interesting. And these kind of data and statistics, when they are used to report matters which are concerning health, crime, or more so related to health related aspect, what kind of psychological impact does it have on the society? So this is what basically our study is all about. Coming to the research gap that this study tries to address is that there are not many studies which we have found during our study that focus on the use of data or statistics in journalism and what are its impact on the psyche of the people or the society. Secondly, also data journalism, as we know that we have come a long way in journalism when the first time, say the first instance of using journalism was found in the Julius Caesar Empire in around 59 BC, where the daily activities of people were kind of reported and it was rolled out in an official format. From 59 BC to the present day, where excessive use of data and statistics is kind of used in journalism, and also this computer assisted reporting and all. So these are the new concept, but then again, when we are using these new technology and techniques to report the matters of concern, especially that comprise of health, there are certain threats which are underlined, which often go unnoticed. So this is the second thing that we have identified in our study. And the third one, that what should be the role of data journalists during the present COVID-19 pandemic, because we have seen we are currently in the 9th month of the pandemic, and then the way from March onwards, when the first lockdown was announced till date, what was the kind of sentiment and the emotions that people went through, the stress, anxiety and all, and what should be the role of data journalist in, because again, in the era of fake news and all, the role of journalists, it becomes even more pronounced, that because we do not know that which source of news we should be kind of relying on. Coming to the objectives of the study, our study tries to address the impact of use of data and statistics in reporting matters related to health, impact of data journalism on the society in matters related to health, the ongoing COVID-19 health crisis and the various psychological and behavioral impact that it has caused on the society, and the roles and expectations from the data journalist in such situations, wherein they have to report news related to health, particularly during epidemics and pandemics. Talking about the research methodology that we have adopted in the study, it is purely secondary, and the tools for data collection, hence what we have kind of used are mostly the organizational reports of World Health Organization, CDC, peer-reviewed journals, websites, newspaper articles, and archives. These were our sources of collecting information. The results and study of our present study, it was found out by conducting an extensive amount of literature review that in cases of diseases, and especially more so in case of epidemics, generally the journalists, they tend to focus more on happenings rather than the underlying causes. And also mostly the casualties and number of individuals affected are revealed or kind of broadcasted more as compared to the reason for the occurrence of the disease. Hence, reporting the facts, it becomes again of more importance, and how it should be reported, that also needs to be given due concern. Now we have kind of studied different health concern or health scare related different kind of epidemics and pandemics which have taken place in the past, and how they were reported and what kind of psychological impact it caused on society. Like one of the this health concern, very famous one, the SARS in 2002. We tried to find out that during this particular pandemic, there were kind of the articles which were reporting this particular health concern was way greater than any particular news item which was reported in the past 5 years. So we can imagine that when a particular news is doing rounds time and again, what kind of fear or concern it might kind of cast on the people. And also it was found through the literature that we have surveyed that those particular news items, they discussed risks more as compared to prevention. And again, even there were cases that at some places this particular health issue caused a very meager kind of damage, but still they were reported with such great amount of facts and figures that it caused deep psychological concerns on people over there. We all can very well relate during this COVID-19 pandemic, the different news items and the kind of effect they have had on us, the kind of anxiety and all it has caused. Secondly, we tried to study and dig in detail about this H1N1 influenza outbreak, which happened in 2009, wherein the media had reported it highly communicable. There were different records maintained, which were reportedly broadcasted about the casualty and the number of people affected, number of people being dead and all. And again, the measures that have been kind of told to us during this COVID-19 prevention of use of sanitizers, hand wash and all, the same were suggested back then in 2009 as well.
Ma'am, I request you to move towards the conclusion now.
Okay, ma'am. So, ma'am, if we talk about the conclusion, what we have found out that data journalism is not only limited to data and statistics, but it also delves deep into the issues such as socio-psychological aspects of data journalism. Like if we talk about COVID-19 pandemic, okay, all these numbers and all, they never kind of address the issues that what kind of psychological impact it has caused on people, like increase in number of OCD cases or increase in anxiety because of fear of job loss or economic recession and all. And also journalism is a field which is mostly associated with putting across your views, opinions and news item. It's more to do with kind of your literary talent and all. And not every journalist might be very kind of adept or might have the expertise to play with numbers or report it in such a manner that it is kind of effectively communicated to people. Okay, and also we never know what kind of public are we addressing these news items to, and whether do they have the capability to understand this particular information in the form of infographics and data or not. And especially during the case of health infection outbreak, we have found that the acts of media requires a close examination of both quantitative as well as qualitative impact that it may have on the audience. And there have been plenty of instances from the past which we have found out. Also, it is very likely that during these cases of health crisis, even the figures and all, or say the data or statistics that we have, maybe that we do not have the correct data, because we know maybe government officials or different bodies, they would not like to share the accurate figure. And even if they do so, the psychological impact, that again becomes something of prime concern. So the language, tone and undertone that is used in the in the news articles, they must be carefully thought when when the news is to be presented. So that would be all from my side. Thank you for providing me the opportunity to present my opinion on the paper.
Thank you so much, Dr. Pooja. Sir and ma'am, please go ahead with the question and answers.
Yeah.
Dr. Pooja, you
Dr.
can stop
Pooja.
screen sharing now.
Yeah.
Dr. Pooja, this was quite very interesting, the research paper or what the literature review basically. But I would like to ask you one thing, whether if you have the option of giving the data journalism and the whatever mainstream journalism, which is full of somebody's experience, insights, which one would you consider is the superset? Which one would you consider as subset?
So given a choice between data journalism and the mainstream journalism that we know about.
Yeah, so which one precedes the other?
Okay, so I think mainstream journalism precedes, because there again we can kind of mention the what impact a particular news item has, and all those also can be taken care of. Only relying on numbers and all that can make the content very interesting, can kind of convey the message in a very short span of time, but then some important issues, I think they get kind of left out.
You know, it is quite an interesting thing, although it is, recently one of my old students sent me a video by Prasoon Bajpai. Is a very noted journalist.
Yes.
And he spitted out so much data. Oh my God, last 10 years, so much data for last 30 years. But his conclusion, his argument, everything was wrong. Why? Because if you pick up any damn industry across the world, how the industry matures, during maturity of any industry, what changes happen, what kind of employment shift, the skill set required at different phases of the maturity of the industry, it was completely missing. So data was speaking and creating the misconception. So I think data journalism could be rightly used to increase the credibility of the news item, but on the top of it, it is still how it is being looked upon, or how it is being presented. So in current situation, I feel that all the journalists are severely lacking, barring few, the content context. Simply reporting data journalism is okay, but I think that I could not digest it. Please pardon me, but this is quite an interesting thing. I think a good hypothesis for this paper could be to see whether the audience digest the contrarian and the non-factual viewpoints which are supported with the data.
Yes,
sir. So many of my ex-MBA students at IMT Ghaziabad got carried away with this Prasoon Bajpai's video, and when I listened to this, this could not make even 1% sense to me, because the data is data, but the people don't have the understanding how business works and how the industry moves and how industry matures, where is the qualitative shift of the employment happens in any industry, and so on and so forth.
Right,
Anyways,
sir.
thank you very much, madam.
Thank you so much, sir.
Quite an insightful.
Thank you, sir.
So if audience or other faculty members have the questions, and if nobody has question, then I would request the host,
Yes, sir. Shall we
Paliwal
go
sir,
for-
or yes.
Okay, sir. Harish, sir, do you have any questions?
No.
Okay.
No, ma'am, no. Thank
For
you.
next.
Okay, so we are moving towards our second presenter again. I think he's back with us. So the title of the paper is Artificial Intelligence and Intellectual Property, Laws in India, an Empirical Study, which is authored by Dr. D. Thirumala Rao. So I request you to please raise your hand and please come forward.
Hello, madam. Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible. Please switch on your video camera and share the screen for the PowerPoint presentation.
Yeah. Good afternoon, madam.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Just a moment, ma'am. 1 minute. I'm just sharing the screen. Good afternoon, one and all. I am Dr. D. Thirumalra from Department of Commerce, Institute of Management and Commerce, Khairatabad, Hyderabad, Telangana State. My area of research is law, and the paper title is Artificial Intelligence and IPR Laws in India, an Empirical Study. Inventions and discoveries are not new to any generation. If we take yesterday's trend in the childhood, we came across video games and games in computer, and today we are able to see the whole world in our mobile. This journey is continuing, taking us from computerization to digitalization and digitalization to artificial intelligence. So let us know, what is this artificial intelligence? It is the ability of a computer or a robot controlled by a computer to do tasks that are usually done by humans because they require human intelligence and discernment. It is our responsibility to protect or safeguard any invention made by the mankind, to make use of these inventions for the benefit of society in particular and nation in general. In view of this, the present study focuses on the growing importance of artificial intelligence in various sectors of India and the application of IPR laws in protecting the intangible asset AI. The literature review is emphasized that the AI is identified decades ago, but its relevance and importance is observed in the recent past in industry, pharmacy, medicine, and research. AI is a valuable invention where it is challenging the human intelligence and creating its own image on par with human memory. Such invention should be protected for the benefit of mankind. In this regard, AI should be brought under the purview of IPR domain. The statement of the problem focuses on the relevance of artificial intelligence in various sectors of our country and the need for IPR laws in protecting the intangible asset AI. Based on the research gap and statement of the problem, the following objectives are taken: to study the growing importance of AI and IPR laws in India, to analyze the views of respondents on IPR laws in protecting AI. Research methodology consists of data collection, both primary and secondary. My sample size is 96 respondents. Sampling method is convenience sampling method. Dependent variables are provision of law, organizations, users of AI, and independent variables are political, economic, and government policies, AI programs, and data and information. Tools of analysis, pie chart, and bar diagrams based on percentage of responses given by the respondents. Key findings of the study: 91% of the respondents are aware of the term artificial intelligence. Only 45.8% of the respondents have come across programming with artificial intelligence. It is observed that 60.4% of the respondents opine that AI is going to throw a challenge to human intelligence in the near future. 80.2% of the respondents agree that AI is going to bring tremendous changes in the process and operations in various sectors of the economy. As the application of AI may benefit the nation, it should be brought under the provisions of IPR laws. 79.2% of the respondents agreed with this statement. 66.7% of the respondents opined that the contribution of IPR laws is necessary to protect the research works and innovations in the present scenario. AI should be developed with programming that suits the process and procedures of organization and should be under the usage to generate patentable IP. 68.8% of the respondents agreed with this statement. Only 31.3% of the respondents are aware that World Intellectual Property Organization, which we called as WIPO, is working on the aspects of AI that are specific to IP laws. Only 60.4% of the respondents view that Government of India is promoting research in technology to address ethical bias and privacy in relation to AI. The independent variables such as political, economic, government, AI programs, data information relevant to AI is going to impact the provisions of law to AI users, procedures. Direct relation is between the independent and dependent variables. From the respondents' views, it is evident that 91% of the people are aware of AI in the present era, and we are going to derive from AI to our community is manifolds, the benefits, and hence the responsibility to protect its privacy, confidentiality is a major issue to be considered. Intellectual property laws should introduce new provisions to protect the privacy of AI as it is used by companies for commercial purpose in specific and for the benefit of society in general. WIPO is working on this to bring laws which are specific to AI. Hence, the usage of AI should take new dimensions in various sectors of the economy to take up as a step ahead on par with world's economy who are already using AI as a tool to develop holistically. The virtual reality is taking its complete shape from time to time. Artificial intelligence is contributing in applications and playing its role in beyond digitalization. Usage of AI should be authenticated by the government so that provisionally all sectors can make use of it. Legal provisions should be made, taking into account the country's economic status, situation prevailing, and the current trend with reference to AI. The application of AI should be introduced in defense for security purposes of the country. The inclusion of AI should be made in curriculum along with the provisions of IPR to bring awareness among the student fraternity as they are the persons leading tomorrow's nation. Protection of all intangible assets should be part of IPR laws for the benefit of society in particular and security purposes in general. These are the suggestions made. There is a scope for further research.
Thank you so much, Dr. T.P. Romanara.
Yeah, just a scope for the further research. AI is going to open the door for research, further enhancing the domain of researchers in the areas such as role of AI in the business, its emerging importance in the growth and development of economy, SWOT analysis of AI, issues and challenges with reference to usage of its applications and so on can help the researchers to expand their domain. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you so much, sir. I request the panelists, sir and ma'am, to please proceed with the question and answers now.
Oh, I missed out on the objectives of the research. It was like having some hypothesis in the beginning, the precursor, and then the finding. I missed totally on how did you come out on the findings. There are few findings and suggestions which have nothing to do with the research. For example, the inclusion of the artificial intelligence in the curricula in the schools. So I would say that focus on your findings and suggestions.
Yes.
Based on research rather than based on opinion.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So
Sir, this is
By the
only
way,
the views of the respondents are taken. To what extent the respondents, my sample collected, which is whether they are aware of these IP laws and provisions of AI, to that extent only this study is conducted.
okay. This is one area where Indian law system is weak.
Yes, sir.
If you look
Yes.
in Singapore, in America, in even other similar countries or lesser developed countries, the
Yes. Yes.
IPR rules are very strong. In
Yes, sir.
India, for example, intellectual property rights uh, are not very well protected,
Yes, sir.
and that demoralizes the new innovators for
Yeah.
coming up with the big investment in R&D space.
Yes, sir.
So I think instead of asking the normal, or ordinary people or your college students or the common consumer,
Yeah.
if you interview uh, the industry stakeholders in the IPR industry, that will give some kind of
Thank you very much,
prioritization
sir.
sensing.
Yeah.
It is given that
Yeah.
IPR rules are needed, but government of India or any countries for that matter, the government has so many things on the plate that they cannot focus on all of them at the same
Yes,
time.
sir. Yes, sir.
So if you interview stakeholders, that will probably give some kind of sense
Definitely, sir.
about the
Yeah.
level of prioritization the IPR rules regulations require at the present moment.
Yeah. Thank you very much, sir. Very good suggestion you have given. I'll follow that.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Hello, am I audible, sir?
Yeah, madam. Yes,
Okay, yeah.
madam.
So this is a very interesting topic.
Thank you,
Though
madam.
I am also do not know so much about this topic,
Yeah.
sir, but this is a very interesting. So, like in the global innovation economy, so like I would like to know, can artificial intelligence be patent, sir?
Uh,
AI.
Madam, it's like when you use the when you apply the artificial intelligence, when a company uses it, automatically they get the what do you call, like an asset, when they feel like an intangible asset, when when they want some control on it. So that can be secured exclusively for their purpose.
Okay.
So in that context, IPR laws should protect the privacy,
Privacy. Okay. 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 Okay.
confidentiality, using its what do you call, somebody may, what do you call the instead of copying the same models or programs, misleading the nation. So in such cases, law should protect it.
Law should protect this, and there are a number of laws.
Yeah.
And you are perfect in this.
This is the first attempt on law. So far,
Okay.
totally I'm into management and commerce. The very first time I'm presenting on law.
Okay. So you are a lawyer. Okay, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you
Okay.
very much for all your
Okay.
encouragement and suggestions.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
I also thank Ruturaj Babar sir. Actually, through him, I came to know that Gwalior University is conducting this. Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Thank you so much, sir. Harish, sir, any questions?
No.
Okay.
Proceed.
So let's move forward then. Moving forward to our fifth presenter. The title of the paper is Impact of Corporate Governance on Firm Performance for Telecom Infrastructures Providers in India, authored by Kevyakant Gogoi, Rashmita Barua, and Dr. Monica Agarwal. I request the participants to please raise their hands if they are present. Okay, I don't think they have joined the meeting till now. Then moving on to our sixth presenter. The title of the paper is COVID-19's Boost to Digital Technology, an in-depth examination of the underlying anti-competitive issues, which is a full paper authored by Dr. Isha Jaswal, Ms. Riya Mittal, and Mr. Rohit Kumar. I request the authors to please raise their hands and come forward.
Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, I'll request one of my co-author to present. I'll just present the PPT on my behalf. Ma'am, we can do so.
Okay, yes.
Thank you very much, obliged. Good afternoon, one and all present here. I, Rohit Kumar, a third-year law student at Indraprasth University, New Delhi, the co-author for the paper titled COVID-19's Boost to Digital Technology, an in-depth examination of the underlying anti-competitive issues, along with the other co-author Riya Mittal and the author Dr. Isha Jashwal is here to present the paper before the respected panel. I, on behalf of all the authors, will present the paper and Riya will be helping me with the slides. The paper deals with the keywords like digital commerce, digital platforms, COVID-19, and competition. Without wasting much time, I'll directly jump on to discuss the research gap fulfilled by the study. All around 50 research papers were referred, but a few are listed down, which are somewhat related to the topic of our concern. First paper, which is titled as a review, digital platforms, a review and future directions, which is a paper of 2019, which has the objective to review the digital platform and their future growth. And the key features, key findings of the paper was to show an ambiguity in the current conceptualization of digital platforms. This paper dealt with the reforms in Singapore. The second paper we referred is COVID-19 digital privacy. The primary concern of this paper was to find the privacy issues attached with the digital platforms, that is video conferencing platform. The third paper we referred is communication collaboration, that is the main objective of the paper was to find out the substitute for the education during the time of the COVID. The fourth paper which we referred is the EFL Institute's preference on digital platform during emergency remote teaching, that is to find out the best video conferencing app, messenger application, LMS. And the main objective, the main key finding of this paper was that the major video conferencing platforms used during the pandemic was Cisco Webex, Google Meet, which became also a source of learning, and WhatsApp was the major tool to disseminate the information about these tools. The fourth and the fifth and the most important paper, which came when our paper was in review in 2020 itself, which talks about the digital platforms regulate before it's too late. It means that the objective of the paper was to find the regulation strategies for the tech giants like Google, Facebook, Amazon, Microsoft, and Apple. Whereas the key findings of the paper was that more transparency must be there for the digital firms by opening up application programming interfaces and involving citizens and experts in experimentation and control of the algorithm. Numerous other research papers were referred on the same, but a lack of research is there. Also, the objective of the study is to review the impact of COVID-19 on the usages of video conferencing platform and identify the major firms and to investigate the engagement of digital platform in any possible anti-competitive activity. The authors followed the doctrinal study to complete the research work and referred numerous research papers in order to conclude the work, which is like newspaper report, which included the Hindu, Financial Express, and the other several company reports of video conferencing platforms, which included the Zoom's annual company report and the Valvate's report on the video conferencing platform. Moving on to the result of the study and discussion. Digital platforms were used in different developed countries before the advent of COVID-19, but due to the pandemic, the usages of the platform like Zoom, Google Meet, Slack, Microsoft Meet, Cisco Webex, among other, grew invariably. For example, Webex registered a record of 324 million attendees in March 2020. Fortunately, we are able to have this conference with the help of one of these platforms itself. Before COVID-19, several instances of anti-competitive activities in US, be it abuse of dominant position, cartelization, or anything else. In India, the scenario after the COVID has the can be encountered. We would like to bring into the notice of the panelists that a group of 15 startups came together to file a complaint before the Competition Commission about the Google. They alleged that the complaint involved the Google's recent imposition of its Play Store billing system on Indian developers, as well as 30% commission the company charges for selling digital goods and services through the system. implication and significance of result. The COVID-19 paved a way for the digital platform to extend and expand the market base, and the cases which came over in different countries indicate a possible chance of the same or different anti-competitive activities in India. Hence, the CCI has to be more vigilant on the growing digital market. Before jumping on to the conclusion, I would like to cite two case studies. That is, in year 2019, when a case has been reported in USA where several video conferencing accused Microsoft Meet in waging an unfair campaign to crush two of its smaller competitors in the communication software industry, that is Slack and Zoom. And this is clear sort of abuse of dominant position. Also, it was alleged that the regulators are not focusing on the prime issue and instead inquiring Facebook with a threat to possibly destroy the American democracy. Moreover, in June 2020, when the nation was on lockdown and everyone was searching for an alternative mode in order to communicate, Google, in order to advance its services, what they did, they used to provide the Google Meet services only to G Suite account and G Suite education account. But in order to compete in the market, they started to provide services of Google Meet to all the users and collaborate with email product Gmail, which is widely used by more than 1.5 billion, and thus a product bundling strategy by linking Gmail and Google Meet came over. With the reference to the different countries highlights that India is also on the same path and a possible thing could come up in India, and hence taking it on a preventive note, a regulation needs to be introduced. Section 4 of the Competition Act 2002 and Section 3 Clause 3, read with Section 3 Clause 1 of the Competition Act 2002, prohibits the cartel conduct of the people in the market, and hence relating it with our situation, the same can be enforced. Regulatory measures submitted under the paper cited above, which talks about the regulations of the big giants like Google, Apple, Facebook, Amazon, and Microsoft, which are ruling the market with all sort of service providing to the people. Our paper suggests the same sort of regulation with the video conferencing platform like Zoom, Google Meet, Cisco WebEx, GoToMeeting, Slack, etc. Thank you.
So Rohit ji, can you highlight at least 3 anti-competitive practices which are growing because of the digitization? Or
yes, sure, sir. Sir, as I mentioned in my PowerPoint presentation also, that in June 2020, we saw that Google was seen in bundling strategy. Like what Gmail was there with the Google, and Google Meet was also there. But in order to meet the market competition, what they did, they mixed both the platforms, Gmail and Google Meet, and started providing the facility of Google Meet to all its users free of cost with no time bound. Earlier it was to 1 hour with a maximum of 100 participants, but now it can add up to n number of participants, like 1000 number of participants, and the meet can go for 24 hours long. Also in 2019 in a same type of case was reported for Microsoft Meet, as it was found in abuse of dominant position. Like if I am having a dominant position, I will surpass the 2-3 video conferencing platforms which is not having that much stake in, and I'll join the facilities provided by both of them and create one new facility. So that is a sort of bundling strategy. Also, a recent case has been encountered where 15 startups have moved to CCI, complaining that as we know that in Android we can download the softwares from Google Play Store. So they are complaining that the apps which are provided by Google Play Store is pre-installed in the application, and hence if the Google Meet is pre-installed, people will prefer to use Google Meet instead of Zoom. We are doing this conference on Zoom, sir. So we are supposed to download an app called Zoom in our phone or laptop. If something is pre-installed in our laptop, why would we go to some alternative?
Okay, that's fine. Personally, I would buy only the third example as in anti-competitive practices. Other two are just the market driven. Okay, so that was quite insightful. But what's the learning or the future henceforth?
Sir, we are just asking for the regulatory measures which should be introduced to avoid the anti-competitive activities. Sir, you would have heard about the coming up of a new platform that is GeoMeet, which was an actual copy of Zoom.
Yeah, no, everything is known. It's okay. It's very far cry because Google Pay, GPay, or whatever you know by whichever name you know it by, government of India is in now a tricky situation. Now, if government of India asks Google to pay the income tax or the business tax, you better call it, or GST on the GPay, then they say you better mind your business, otherwise we'll pull out our all support.
Sir,
So
sorry
it
to
is quite a tricky situation. It's easy to suggest that make a regulatory framework, but it's quite another to actually implement it. Dealing with the giants on which the whole business and economy is depending, daily business activities of many business houses, uh, it's quite tricky situation, but it's quite worth looking at as well.
Sir, sorry to
Good.
interrupt, but we were talking about all sort of video conferencing platforms. So GPay is not related to us, sir. Sir,
Now
so
I just gave the example
yes,
that
sir.
it's difficult to tame the giants.
Yes, sir. Sir, but if CCI is having a vigil, CCI is not imposing any regulation, or CCI is having a vigil, that much vigil is only sufficient to regulate these platforms, video conferencing platforms.
Okay. Somebody just before talked about the IPR regulations in India. It is a kind of, and we need to maintain a balance. The China came up with such a big economy because they play a blind, they turned the blind eye towards the labor laws and the intellectual property laws and the copyrights issues and so on and so forth.
Yes, sir.
So in India, if Indian government comes out with so stringent criteria or policies, rules, regulations for anti-competitive activities, then probably it will be difficult to let Geo meet come in the force, because lot many other industry players within India may probably start complaining about it. So it is a kind of double-edged sword for some time until we become very big and you know uh, self-reliant. We'll have to maintain balance. We cannot instill
True.
and implement full throttle all the rules regulations.
Yeah.
If we do that, we will strangulate the growth rate of technology and economy in Indian continent.
Sir,
So,
sir,
but it was quite worth looking at.
I humbly
Thanks
note,
for giving food for thought today.
Yeah,
I
too.
really liked listening to you.
sir, I humbly note down the suggestions provided by you, but we through our paper are just trying to point out that CCI should have a vigil.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much, Rohit, and your whole team.
Yes, Rohit,
Yes,
can I
ma'am.
ask one question?
Sure, ma'am.
So like in rural areas, still people are reluctant to opt digital option, right? So rather than conventional option of payments and other services, what are your suggestions to fill this gap and boost digital payment to acceptability in rural areas?
Ma'am, so far as the digital payment is concerned, ma'am, I'll suggest that we can only educate the people in the rural areas to uh, adopt to these types of digital payments. But ma'am, for your kind consideration, I would like to bring it to your knowledge that we are focusing on digital platforms.
Yeah, but
And
technology is also related to this, na?
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. But ma'am, in order to teach the technology, we can only educate them. We can conduct surveys. We can conduct like ma'am, we can conduct a type of webinar or something to teach how to do the payment, which
Yeah,
in
exactly.
an organized manner in order to bring the digital
based on your research, digital conferences, which digital conferences platform you will suggest for common users like us, and why?
Ma'am, like if you're not willing to pay money, ma'am, like video conferencing platforms, of course you are paying some sort of money for the internet connection, but Google Meet has some services which are free now, ma'am. Like you can have like hundreds of participants or thousands of participants, and you can organize the video conference for like 24 hours also, and it's free of cost. And so as far as Zoom is concerned, ma'am, so it gives free services for only 40 minutes and it allows 100 participants to join. I guess the platform which we are using, Zoom, is a paid subscription. The organizers would have paid a hefty of amount for getting the unlimited usage platforms of Zoom. So I'll suggest, ma'am, that we should go for Google Meet if we are not going to pay a hefty amount for that.
Okay. Thank you so much, Rohit. Thank you. Thank you. Nice presentation. And topic is also related to masses. Very good. Nice. Thank
We
you.
lack a bit of literature on this, ma'am.
Yeah.
COVID is all a new concept.
Yeah, this is good. Very nice. Thank you so much, Rohit. Thank you.
Harish, sir, any questions, sir?
No.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Rohit. So I would like to inform the panelists that our 7th presenter is unable to join us due to some unavoidable circumstances. So we are moving on to the 8th presenter. The title of the paper is Effect of Intensities of Comparative Ease and Interaction on Comparative Knowledge Gained from Online and Face-to-Face Learning Modes. The full paper has been authored by Dr. Bikash Shrestha and Dr. Arhan Stapit. I request the participants to please raise their hands.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
Congratulations for Tarini madam, as well as our Ram Kumar Paliwal sir and the entire TIMG 2012 organizing committee.
Thank you so much, sir,
for handling the conference despite of this all pandemic. Our topic is, I'm going to share my screen.
Yes, please.
Is it visible, madam?
Yes.
Good afternoon, session chair, co-session chair, and the keynote speaker. Our topic is the effect of intensities of comparative ease and interaction level on comparative knowledge gain from online and face-to-face learning modes. Me, the presenter, along with our professor, my professor Arhan Stapit, we have been preparing this since in the year 2000, beginning of the 2020. I am the lecturer at Tribhuvan University, and my professor is the professor of management at Nepal Open University. The keywords that have been used in the study are comparative knowledge gain, comparative ease, comparative level of interaction, face-to-face learning mode, and online learning. Variables of the study. The outcome variable is the comparative knowledge gain, which is denoted by CKG. And it has two outcomes measured in nominal scale, which is dissimilar or inferior and similar or superior. And the two predictor variables, comparative level of interaction and comparative ease of attending online classes. These are also the variables measured in nominal scale with two scales of high and low. And the way we came up with this variable is the mean value of 3.456 for the comparative knowledge gain from the Likert scale that we have gained. The higher the values of 3.456 or more is considered to be as finding it similar or superior in compared to the traditional face-to-face learning, whereas 2.9 and 2.5 were the threshold for the comparative level of interaction and comparative ease of attending online classes respectively. And these were the articles that we had gone through in order to identify the variables under the study. The research gap fulfilled by the study is that the study is not limited to only the three dimensions of interactions that the past studies have been conducting, so it's named evocative, provocative, and convocative interaction. We could see, or we can define the interaction in terms of the asynchronous dimension of interaction materials, not only the synchronous, as well as the comparative is created by those materials. The major objective was to examine the effect of intensities of comparative level of interaction and ease of attending online classes on comparative knowledge gain from online and face-to-face modes of learning, where we have prepared two hypotheses for this purpose. Descriptive and causal research design. And since the need for sampling is irrelevant, as the study used the complete enumeration of all business students of NOU, the only university in Nepal offering the distance or online mode of education on all of 228 management students, of which 224 responses were retained, as 4 were found either incomplete or incompatible. And the well-validated questionnaire on comparativeness by Platt et al. 2014 was being used in order to collect the responses on this regard. This was the model of the study that we used, the logistic regression model, since our outcome variable was the dichotomous with 2 levels. And as for the suggestion by Payne, Lee, and Ingersoll 2002, we have adopted this model where log(y) logers is the ratio of probability of outcome of similarity or superior probability to the probability of outcome of dissimilarity or inferior 1 by p of the comparative knowledge gain from online classes, and B1, X1, B2, X2 are the coefficient and the variables respectively, the comparative ease of online class and comparative interaction level in online class. The result, binary logistic regression result, the first row comparative level of comparative ease, the coefficient size of -2.32 indicate the similarity about online classes is smaller or lower for the students of NOU, considering it lower comparative easiness, which is further supported by the wall statistics of 24.37, which is found to be significant. Similarly, the coefficient of -4.05 is also supports that the student, considering the lower level of interaction on online classes, feel that the online class is comparatively dissimilar in compared to the students considering it similar. And it is also further supported by the wall statistics of 39.53 with the significant value of 0.001, and the odd ratio of 0.098 as well as 0.017 indicates the same outcome that has been demonstrated by the beta coefficients, and pseudo R-square values ranges from 0.509 to 0.7. Block 0 and 1 classification table has been also conducted in order to see what was the correction rate. In block 0, the overall right prediction was only 64.7%, but however, when conducting the logistic regression, it reached to 89.7% and had the correction rate of 25%, which is 89.7 minus 64.7 to 89.5%. In order to confirm observed and predicted probability deviation test, the study also conducted the Hosmeyer and Lemso test, and it was conducted under the 4 steps out of all 224 students, and observed and predicted probabilities were tested, and the significant values of 0.195 indicates they are similar. There is no any deviation in the observed and expected in terms of the dissimilarity as well as the similarity of the way the students have considered the dissimilarity and similarity about the online courses. Conclusion and implications. The study discovered that the intensities of the comparative interaction level and comparative ease in attending online classes has significant impact on comparative knowledge gain as compared to face-to-face mode of learning, at least for the students pursuing business education in Nepal Open University, Nepal. Nepalese business could take the benefits of blending modes of online classes as has been practiced by NOU, and the business schools should be focusing on making the online classes ease and with high level of synchronous and asynchronous interaction materials. The study further could be directed towards validating the findings by taking a larger sample of students from other universities who had attended the online classes in the COVID-19 pandemic. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Vikasji.
Right.
I would like to ask one question.
Right, sir.
Although you have presented a very good methodological paper, we are also engaged in the online classes at college level, but we find that the students are not satisfied with the classes.
Right.
Do you think in future online classes may be an alternate of the face-to-face classes, or it will be in addition to the face-to-face classes?
In my opinion, or as per the review of literature, what I have found is there has been a drastic change or growth rate of the online classes in USA as well as in the developed countries, and even I can see some of the developed India with more than 7 or 12 online open universities in India. But however, in case of Nepal, what I have seen is there is only one online university offering the online classes, and the targeted students, or we can call them as the customers, they have been, all the students have been engaged in certain business organization as well as the government organizations. From that dimensions, if we could see the future study can also be conducted towards that direction. But as for the sample nature of our, or the population nature of our ME students, since they were engaged, it is found to be somewhat better for them. For their career growth might be.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Vikasji, thanks for presenting a very interesting and contemporary. I have two questions here. One suggestion in the beginning.
Sure.
You have mentioned that your study is descriptive as well as causal.
Right.
So, looking at the research model in the beginning you shown, it looked like I was in the impression that you are going to use the structure equation modeling or CFAs or something.
Right.
It has been debated by a lot many people whether you can consider CFA or structure equation modeling a causal model or not. But logistic regression is not a causal model. This is just a descriptive. Okay, so take note of it. Otherwise, it might be a quite of investment before publication.
Right.
So your paper is a descriptive research design paper using logistic regression. Any kind of regression for that matter is only the descriptive research design.
Sure.
Causal is only the experiments.
Right.
Okay. I have one question is similar is clubbed with superior and dissimilar as is clubbed with inferior. Is there a researcher's bias playing in here? Or is it coming naturally through the kind of scale you used?
In fact, the competitiveness items as developed by Platt et al. Has been utilized for this study, which has used the scale in terms of Likert scale in a range of 1 to 5. After calculating the summations of all those items that were included in the construct, and the mean value was calculated, the overall mean value was approximately 3.9 or something. Those whichever were higher or equivalent to 3.9 were considered to be as the superior or similarity, and below them were considered to be as dissimilar or inferior expectations about the online education being provided by the NOU.
What anchors did you use on the Likert scale?
Pardon, Professor?
What anchors did you use on Likert scaling technique?
We want to find 5 anchors of Likert scale. 5 points Likert scale.
No, it's okay, but what inferior or superior were the extreme ends anchored at?
Regarding strongly agree and strongly disagree.
Okay. And your statements were loaded on inferiority and superiority statements, adjectives.
Right, Professor.
Okay, that's quite interesting, huh? Good. Thank you very much. From my side, I am done. I invite other faculty members and audience to raise questions if they have.
Yes, sir. One. So, Shrestha sir, this is very nice presentation, and also paper is very well structured. So I do not have any question, rather than I have one suggestion for this paper. Like I have seen that the introduction section, in introduction section, I have found some observation that it is not very compelling enough for the reader, basically. Like any introduction, the central objective of the any research paper is the highlight why the study topic is matter both for theory and practice, right? So my point of view here is that it should be written in such a way that it should be start with the description of the problem first and followed by the identification of the gap in the literature, and afterwards you should find the research gap. Okay, sir. So this is only my observation.
Thank you very much, ma'am. That
So
will
like
be
if you like if the paper is further go for the publication process, then this is the only suggestion. Okay, sir. Thank you
sure,
so
thank
much.
you very much.
Very
Thank you very
suggestion,
much.
Geeta ma'am.
Thank you
I
very
must thank you for making me learn as well today.
Yeah, sir.
This was quite a crisp and nice suggestion. Yeah.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, Dr. Vikash. Moving on to our ninth presenter. The title of the paper is The Quality Comparison and Features of Various Video Calling and Conferencing Applications. Full paper has been authored by Mr. Vishakha Matre, Mr. Sitesh Zodge, Dr. Shalaka Bhosle. I request the presenters to please raise their hands. Unfortunately, I don't think they are with us. So the 10th presenter is an empirical study on the perceptions of creating shared value strategies, competitive advantage over the CSR, the case of India. So Professor Aftab Alam is with us today. So sir, I'm unmuting you. Would you like to present the full paper today as you are there with us? As we've only received your abstract. Sir, I've unmuted you. Would you like to say anything? Dr. Aftab Alam? Okay, so as he is not responding, let's move on to our 11th presenter. The title of the paper is the virtual learning environment benefited during COVID-19 lockdown in India, an experimental study of Mumbai region, a full paper authored by Dr. Badhane Jaywant and Dr. Joshi Bharat M. I request the participants to please raise their hands.
Hello.
Yes, you're audible, sir.
Madam, this is Dr. Joshi, madam. My simultaneous paper in FM session is, ma'am, going on. So can I present my paper after 1 to 2 turn, ma'am?
Okay, sure, sir.
Yeah, my simultaneous paper in FM is going on. So I rejoin and I continue, ma'am.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Okay, then. Moving on to our next paper. The title of the paper is Digital Banking, Role of Technology Acceptance Model, which is authored by Dr. Manita Matharu. I request the participants to please raise their hand and come forward. Dr. Manita Matharu. Okay, then I don't think she's with us. Moving on to the next presenter. The title of the paper is Multi-Country Study of SMEs in Oman and India, Issues and Challenges, which has been authored by Dr. S.L. Gupta, Dr. Seema Gupta, and Mr. Marshall Fitz.
Yes, madam. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Unfortunately, the paper is supposed to be presented by my student, and yesterday, from day before yesterday, he got sick. So I'll try to present some things. Basically, I'm Dr. Gupta from Oman. and our institute is called Birla Institute of Technology, Ranchi, Mesra. So the topic is multi-country study of SMEs, small medium enterprises in Oman, India, and Malaysia, issues and challenges. So it is a comparative study of 3 countries. And in fact, the study is not completed. Still, we are going to study. So I'll try to present some things, some important aspects which we are going to cover in this study. So let me share my PPTs. Is it visible? Hello?
Now.
Yes, yes. Oh, no.
So the presentation is not visible.
It is not visible.
Now?
No, sir.
Why it is not visible?
So please use the share screen button at the bottom. You can click on it and you can see if you click on the particular presentation.
No, I have clicked it.
Sir, it's not visible till now.
Okay, anyway, no problem. I will give without PPTs. So basically, I'll first explain the definition of SMEs in Oman. In India, you knowing the various definitions. Here, Oman SME means when the less than 5 workers is working in any company, any enterprises, any business, and turnover is based on turnover, sales turnover, should be not exceed more than 25,000 Omani Riyal. It means in Indian currency approximately 50 lakhs. Then it is called SME in Oman. Similarly, like here in Oman, 40% of workforce is employed in SMEs, and 15 to 20% GDP is there, means growth rate is there. And basic purpose of this SME in Oman is employment opportunities, and lot of variables of studies are there. And the purpose of study is a comparison. I already explained. We have identified a lot of variables for the study through the literature. Like first point is regarding the funds, capital, working capital as well as the long-term capital. What are the types, what are the patterns of the capital in these 3 countries. Then registration process, like here in Oman, registration process is very, very easy. Like Easy Invest, like some portal called Easy Invest. Anybody can invest, can start the business. Just only the requirement is they have to submit as a security or guarantee to the government, that is Omani Riyal 3,500. If I have Omani Riyal 3,500, I can register SMEs. Then various issues and challenges, like I already explained, government is providing a lot of support in terms of infrastructure, in terms of training, in terms of HR, in terms of marketing, and in terms of technology. So that is the basic thing here in the Oman. And India, I hope you knowing, everybody know that how our government is supporting to the SMEs. And every year, the government is giving a lot of awards and incentives to SMEs in Oman. And taxation is no tax here up to certain limit. But now almost 95% SMEs are exempted from any type of, all type of taxes. But maybe from April 21, the Oman government is going to start or going to implement VAT, value added tax. Till date, there is no tax, even income tax is not there, corporate taxation are not there, no tax is there till date in the Oman. And technology support, the government is have separate organization or separate entity where they are providing a lot of technological support like to SMEs. And risk pattern which we are trying to modeling or trying to study. Risk is low if you compare with the India and Malaysia, because it's fully government supported, government control, government monitor. All SMEs are there. There are 4 organizations, like big organization, is a part of the ministry here, that ministry called Ministry of Commerce and Industry. They are fully monitoring from the day one, from the license to the, and every year they are monitoring, they are understanding the problems, they are training, manpower, all the things. So risk pattern is very less. But sometime the cost, if you compare with the Indian market or Malaysian market, the cost of production is high, because normally we can say, suppose a bread packet in India is available in 70 rupees or 20 rupees, sorry, not 70, 20 rupees here. The cost is almost 3 times of Indian market and 2 times in the Malaysian market. That is the issue here. And market information is easily available. The small country is a country of the about 50 lakhs population, not a big country. So that is a good thing here. And employees are available mainly in Oman for the SMEs. The employees are from India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, and Philippines. So they are easily available through various manpower agencies. So manpower is not a big issue, but due to COVID, there are certain issues that is everywhere, not in Oman, every country. And employee training is here must for any of the employees. 3 months to 6 months training is there before joining of any company, or the government gives some type of training camps or boot camps or something. So the worker has to stay 3 months to 6 months in that camp. After that, once they got certification, then they can join SMEs. Otherwise, they are not eligible. And marketing problems are not much for SMEs. There are a lot of hypermarkets, supermarkets, and they are purchasing from first. They prefer the local products, means Omani products, for A to Z, all products. First preference is given local products like anything, any product, any items. First preference, like oil company is there or any company is there, they give the first preference to their local products. After that, they import from other countries like other GCC countries like Qatar, Bahrain, Kuwait, Dubai, and Saudi Arab. From other countries, GCC countries. After that, if the goods are not available, then they go to India market, Pakistan market, Bangladesh market, etc. If not available in the second category of the market, then they go to other African countries or European countries, etc. So they have a set system. Procedure is there. They follow that procedure for this purchasing. And main issue or challenge here for the SME is raw material. Raw material is not available. Raw material because this Oman is primarily based on the oil, and this oil is too much, and all economy based on the oil, because 60 to 70% income is from the oil. So the raw material is the big issue. Then second, transport is a big issue, because here only cars are there, no public transport, no railways, nothing like that. So transportation of the raw material is also issue. And third issue is the important issue is the cultural issue. We have to follow everywhere the cultural issue, like we cannot go against the religion and ethics. So these are the few issues we identify in our research. So still the paper is going on, and hopefully we complete by within 1 or 2 months. So these are the few observations. Thank you. Any questions, please ask. I just summarized because I could not present my PPTs, and PPT everything is there.
Thank you very much, sir. You have presented a good paper and have a very deep knowledge regarding the topic. In your paper, in conclusions, one conclusion is India's, which is the largest populated, growth is lower, while the Oman's growth is highest.
Yes.
Can you, sir, as per your study, can you give 2 or 3 suggestions to the Indian government to improve the growth rate of SMEs in India?
See, I'm in the not in NITI Aayog, but NITI Aayog definitely can work out because I compare with the 2-3 things. One is with the population. Second is with the infrastructure. Third, like with the other resources and other like education and other things. So that is a full research topic. And definitely if growth is here high in Oman, Dubai, in terms of population, in terms of infrastructure, in terms of money invested, growth is very high. In India, growth is less for SMEs or GDP is less.
Right. But any suggestion which can we follow in India?
See, suggestions like one is incubation centers are not there, entrepreneurial awareness is lacking, and third is campus companies, campus organization. Like in our college, we have about 8 to 10 campus companies run by the students. So this type of suggestions we can incorporate and employment. Like recently, you may be knowing that Skill University starting in Haryana, and also Delhi government has also planned. So that can give a lot of training and motivation, incentive awards for SME entrepreneurs, as well as we can give the training to the students in different engineering and non-engineering area. That maybe serve one purpose.
Thank you, sir.
I have no question. Thank you. It was quite an insightful listening to you.
Yeah, and I'm very sorry I could not present my PPT. My scholar just sick, so he yesterday said the night, sir, I could not present. I not prepared anything for this paper. Thank you very much for consideration, and special thanks to Mr. Dr. Rituraj. He was very humble and kind for giving the opportunity and scheduled me during the lunch time, but there is no problem.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. S.L. Gupta. Geeta ma'am, do you have any questions?
No, ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Such a nice presentation. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, Dr. S.L. Gupta. We're moving on to the next presentation. Digital Banking, Role of Technology Acceptance Model. The paper has been authored by Dr. Manita Matharu, and she is there with us now. So I request.
Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, you're audible. Your video is not on. I request you to please switch it on.
Right.
Yes, and please share your screen.
Just give me a minute.
Sure.
Is the screen visible to everyone?
Not till now, ma'am. Yes, now it is.
We can see now.
All right. So, good afternoon, one and all present here. This is Manita Matharu. I'm an assistant professor from Amity University, and I'm here to present this paper, Digital Banking, Role of Technology Acceptance Model. I would start the presentation, and before that, I'll just tell that this is a conceptual model that we have started with, and yet the work is going on. We are working on.
Dr. Manita, I would like to interrupt, ma'am. Please switch on your video, please.
I think the video is already on.
Yeah, no, it is not.
Okay. I'm not getting the option from, just a second, let me check. Yes.
Okay.
Am I visible now?
Yes, you are. Please continue.
Okay. So thanking Prestige Institute for giving this opportunity to this platform on the 12th international conference, and I'm presenting this paper, Digital Banking, Role of Technology Acceptance Model. So this particular work, I was just telling you that this we had started with this work, and in this we have proposing the work on digital banking. So as we all know, because of pandemic also and otherwise also, everything is getting digitalized, and so is this particular area of digital banking that has received a lot of attention from all over the world. Even in India, all the policymakers, bankers, and the consumers are turning, whether we talk about the Paytm or the online banking and everything. So the difference between digital banking with the online banking services, that the online banking only covers the transaction such as the remote deposits, money transfers, bill pay, and basic online management of accounts. Whereas digital banking is the digitization of all the activities and programs from the traditional bank. Online banking is the only digitization of the core activities from the traditional banking. So basically this particular terminology, digital banking, encompasses and cover all the banking activities. So therefore it will include internet banking and mobile banking as well. Coming on to the variables of study, we have started with the exploratory understanding about what are the various factors that are there which have an impact on digital banking. What are the factors that determines the consumer to use and adopt the digital banking services? So after doing the literature review, we came across the technology acceptance model. Otherwise, we have already studied the theory of planned behavior, TPB model, and the other theoretical background have been studied in the literature review. But this particular model, technology acceptance model, is an information systems theory that this model uses, and we have come across that this is the most suitable model for this study. And this is the model that talks about how the users come to accept and use the technology. So this is the model which is in front of the screen, and these are the variables that are there. So this is the basic model that is there in the study. Herein the variables that are there, external variables, and then the two important variables that come, I'll explain in the next slide. But the first important thing that you will see as an outcome is the actual system use. Like in case of digital banking, how many other consumers and how many of the people who are actually using the products, who are using these services. So what is the intention? So the first variable, which is the antecedent of the actual system use, is the behavioral intention. Behavioral intention is the factor that leads the people to use the technology. So especially in case of India, how many are the people who are actually using these technologies, these services which are provided by the banks? So that is the first antecedent. Whereas the other two variables that are behind those this particular variable, that is behavioral intention, are the perceived usefulness, PU, and perceived ease of use. Perceived usefulness is basically the degree to which a person believes that using a particular system would enhance his or her job performance. So if we think that we are using this technology and it is using the way that we would like to, we will definitely be trying to use that. Second important variable is perceived ease of use. Perceived ease of use, as per the Fred Davis explained, that this is the degree to which a person believes that using a particular system would be free from effort, meaning that it will be easy for me to use. I don't have to learn a lot of things, or I don't have to go to an entire let's say a manual where I have to read and what are the steps that I need to follow, and then I will use. So basically perceived ease of use is it is not only easy to use, but also the interface is easy. So if it is difficult and the interface is difficult to understand and to interact to, no one has positive attitude towards it. So basically there is going to be a negative. The consumers would not be trying to use it. So these are the three important variables that are there first in the model. And now you see there are some external variables. But external variables, like any, it can be the knowledge, it can be age, it can be some contextual factors or contextual variables, like in, so one important contextual variable that nowadays we can relate with is the pandemic. You must have seen that people everywhere around the world has increased the digitization. They have started earlier, maybe they have been using the products which are digital, but now because of pandemic, many a times people will not like to use the currency. They would be trying to make the payment through Paytm or some banking system automatic. They don't want to handle currency, so they would like to avoid, and they would like to make the system little simple. So therefore these are the various external variables that can be studied. So based on this particular model, we have reviewed the literature, and we have also seen that this TAM theory, technology acceptance model, these theories have been used earlier also, like online shopping also they have used. A lot of researches have been done, mobile instant messaging, mobile payments. There are other times also these models have been used. This technology acceptance model is used. So the use of this model to understand the consumer adoption towards technology is not new. But here, one important thing that we would like to introduce and we would like to extend this model is by the variable trust. Now, trust is basically a very important controlling mechanism. It's an important mechanism that reduces the risk that is resultant from the undesirable behavior, or we do not want to take any risk about the finance. So therefore, the introduction of this particular variable is extremely very important. Excuse me. So trust is basically seen as a common mechanism for reducing the social complexity and perceived risk of transactions, through increasing the expectation of a positive outcome and perceived certainty regarding the expected behavior. So therefore, trust is an important determinant of all the transactions that are happen online. So I would just conclude by saying this: the study that we have done based on the in-depth literature review on this particular model, and we have highlighted some of the important factors, and we have proposed one model which is an extension to the TAM model in order to understand the behavior of the consumers, consumer adoption towards the digital banking. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Manita. I request the panelists to please move forward with the question and answers. You can stop the screen share now.
Dr. Manita, thanks for presenting this nice, paper. Almost more than 1.5 decades, I have seen so many papers on the banking industry, and the TAM2 model is already in vogue for almost a decade.
Yeah,
so I'm just
true.
surprising how come you missed on it. So there is something called extended technology acceptance model, or TAM2 model.
Yeah,
And
true.
that has been supplemented with trust factor. There are so many supplemental papers available regarding the trust in banking or something. But I think what you can further extend to it is based on the Rogers 5 factors for diffusion of innovation. The banking per se lack two things here. One is triability and one is compatibility with the habits. So, and these two things influence the behavioral intention, which you have incorporated newly in the model. So I will suggest you to look at TAM2 model and compare it with Rogers 5 factors to come out with some further useful supplement to the existing TAM2 model. That could be one possibility. So second thing is if this could be supplemented with data rather than purely on based of the research, literature review or something. So that is all from my side. I invite other faculty members and audience to seek clarification of questions.
Thank you, Dheeraj sir, for giving your suggestions. I would definitely try to incorporate your idea of incorporating TAM2 model. Actually, this particular work is being co-authored by my co-author, the person, and he is not well. He has got with COVID. So so this work is not done. It's half, but I appreciate Tarini ma'am a lot. She has motivated me, and somehow I am here in front of you with this work. I am already in this process, and we are going to finish this in the coming month.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Yes, Harish ma'am, Harish sir, would anything?
No thanks.
Okay, so one question I would like to ask ma'am. So the same thing, like Dheeraj sir says, like TAM theory is very old, and afterwards the TAM2 theory is come, then theory of plant behavior is come. So, and like you did also literature review about different theories of acceptance model. So my suggestion is only here, like the observation is only here, is that you can also go with UTAUT theory, that is unified acceptance theory and use of technology, UTAUT theory, which is recently given by in 2003 and something like given by Rahman, and I just forget the author name. And this theory is actually very much popular in this field now, right? So you can see this theory and read this theory, and this is again very much popular in this field, and so many authors and researchers use this theory in the same field.
Yes, ma'am, that is unified theory of acceptance and use of technology.
Use of technology.
Use of technology.
So,
yes,
yeah. Thank you.
Manita ma'am, there is a nice observation. You know, nowadays the DMAT accounts opening with CDSL instead of NSDL. All the self-driven platforms like Zerodha, 5paisa, and Edelweiss, Angel Broking, they are all catering to, addressing this tribability and habit compatibility issues as well. Because despite being the online free non-support basis DMAT accounts and trading accounts, they are offering the call for trade facility also, so that compatible with the habit. Another thing is they are increasing the tribability as well by offering first month or first 3 months free transactions, no brokerage at all. So I think these two things nobody has talked in all the banking sector so far, how to increase the tribability and compatibility with existing habits. The software and apps could probably be supported with phone call as well in the beginning. So that could be brought in, and I think this will further enhance the UTAT and UTAT model as well, TAM2 model as well. And you can propose something new.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Dr. Manita. Moving on to our next presenter. The title of the paper is the virtual learning environment benefited during COVID-19 lockdown in India, an experimental study of Mumbai region, which is a full paper authored by Dr. Badane Jayawant and Dr. Joshi Bharat M. I request the participants to please come forward and raise their hands. Dr. Bharat Mukundrai Joshi, please come forward.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Yeah, ma'am. I'm sharing my screen, ma'am. Yeah, it's visible, ma'am.
So not till now. I think it'll be visible in a few seconds. Yes, and now it is visible. So this, please share it again, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Is now visible?
Yes, now it is. So you may start now. Dr. Bharat Joshi, sir, you can start. Hello, Dr. Bharat.
I think internet connectivity issue.
Okay, sir. So you may start now.
I think he got disconnected. In the participants list, I can't see
Yes,
him.
sir. Yes, sir. He has joined us again now.
Hello. Yeah. Hello. Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, sir. You are audible.
Yeah. Some connectivity problem was there. Yeah. Is my screen visible?
Yes, sir. Now it is. So you may start now.
Yeah. This is Dr. Bharat Mukundra Joshi from Mumbai. I'm assistant teacher from KPP Hinduja College of Commerce, and my co-author is Dr. Jevan Ramdas Vidane. He's from Nashik, Deola. The topic for the research paper is the virtual learning
Sorry to
environment,
interrupt. Can
VLV,
you be a bit louder, sir?
Yeah, benefited during COVID-19 lockdown in India, an experimental study of the member region. These are the plan for the present presentation. Is agenda, that introduction, review of literature. Then introduction is about the ICT, as we know that blessing to all the sectors. So one of the sector that education is not an exception, and the ICT been utilized with the chock full capacity to outbring the instructions to the geographically ubiquitous learners are better. This is the concept about the learning. As we know that the learning is a continuous process of acquiring the new understandings, knowledge, behavior, skills, values, and which can be taught with the experiences or being taught in the classrooms. The concept of learning, virtual learning environment is quite new. Is an online process in which the teacher and learner are at the distance and completing their course for teaching and learning. The distance learning convey the virtual learning environment, electronic resources, activates, and in the form of within the course content is the synchronous and the structured design for the self-paced is asynchronous or the live web conferencing were there. What actually the virtual learning environment does about the content managements, that is the course contents, then curriculum mapping, planning, the learners engagement, administrations, communication, collaborations, and the real-time communication is there. The rationale for the research problem, the researcher has conducted or gone through the various research papers, research articles, online articles, and the COVID-19, which is a pandemic and which has created a teaching learning process. The gap has been created, and all the country which is facing with the ICT is a blessing for the education sector, and which has transformed the teaching learning process from chalkboard, smart board, open access, open online web-based or across geographical access around the clock education system. And the technology has created the virtual learning environment which provide anytime, anywhere, play, pause, and store dexterity. And hence the researcher found to look into this problem and conducted the present research study. These are the significance of this study. These are the scope of this study. These are the objective to understand the learning and virtual learning environment, components of environment. That is what actually virtual learning environment does. Gratifications of the junior college e-learners toward the learning of subject, and discernment of the junior college e-learners toward the learning of OCM subject. These are the hypotheses based on the discernment and gratification, perceptions and satisfaction. about the significant difference in perceptions of junior college students, no significant association between gender and perceptions, no significant associations between section, that is aided, unaided, and perceptions. Then gratifications about no significant difference in satisfaction or gratification of the junior college e-learners, no significant association between gender and satisfaction, and no significant association between the section and satisfaction, for which the researcher has gone through the detailed research methodology. The present research studies qualitative, quantitative, particularistic approach to the study, which is exploratory and conclusive in nature, purely based on the data collected. Then universe of the population for the present research study are the Mumbai region colleges. Respondents are the junior college FIDC students. Type of the population is verbal for the colleges and measurable for the students. Sampling frame is the colleges in South Mumbai region, FIDC students. Sampling method for colleges, convenient random sampling, and for FIDC students, stratified random sampling. Considering the FIDC total number of students are 1,236, of which decided to circulate among 375 students, that comes to 30.33%. And received the field questionnaire, that sample size achieved is 308, which comes to 24.91%. Variance in sample size is not achieved, that is 67 student has not responded. The data collection for the primary and secondary data, 308 FIDC students, and secondary data, the required secondary data has been collected from the different published sources. Primary data through the well-structured questionnaires on the 5 Likert still to the Google Doc, and secondary data has been from the different sources. Primary data been collected 10, 12, it's in Google form the date, that is 12/10/2020 to 21/10/2020. After collecting data, the researcher has gone through the data cleaning process. No missing value were found. Test of normality been conducted by following Kolmogorov, Smirnov, and Shapiro-Wilk test of normality that shows that the data deviates from the normal distribution. Reliability test been conducted for the gratification statement. It comes to 0.925, that shows excellent internal consistency, and for the dissentment statement, it comes to 0.835, that shows good internal consistency. Then statistical techniques or analytical tools using SPSS 21, normality test, convex alpha, and statistical techniques considering the descriptive statistics, frequency, percent count, Kruskal values, one-way ANOVA on the mean, rank, and the chi-square test been conducted. These are the descriptive data that shows about the gender, that is the male, female child, students, aided, unaided students. And these are the statements of the satisfaction. These are the statements of the dissentment or the perception statements, their frequency count and percentage. These are the graphical presentations of the gratifications and the perceptions or the dissentment statements. These are the testing of hypothesis considering and conducting the Kruskal values one-way ANOVA with that of the chi-square, considering the satisfaction level statements 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that shows the significant difference in satisfaction level comparing the chi-square value with that of the table value at a degree of freedom 4. These are about the perception statements. And this is the conclusion that e-learning has enhanced the topic understanding and revision on time. The time they spent on e-learning is a value and has gained the subject related different concept based knowledge. Overall, the student feel self-actualized and progressed. And on the basis of inferences, overall, there is a statistical significant difference in satisfaction level, but there is no association between gender and section and the satisfaction level. So whether the student from aided or unaided section, or whether the student is male or female, there is no association, and the satisfaction level not differs. Then on the basis of perception, descriptive data, the virtual learning environment is totally new experience and has make a student more confident, comfortable, and less shy, and feel less nervousness than the traditional classroom teachings. And the statistical inferences says that overall there is a statistical significant difference in perceptions, but there is no association between gender and section on the perceptions toward virtual learning environment. So to conclude that the Bhavishya of Indian education will be more positively and will transform the chalk duster and dice environment into the virtual learning environment. And it is great said by the William Arthur Ward that the mediocre teacher tells, the good teacher explains, the superior teacher demonstrates, and the great teacher always inspires. These are some other recommendations and suggestions using the different platforms or with the various techniques to make class engage and create the interest among the students. And these are the directions for the future research. Thank you so much.
Dr. Joshi, which subject did you, the students of which subject did you research on?
Sir, the Organization of Commerce and Management subject. They are the FIDC students, and it is compulsory subject for them, sir.
Okay. I have no questions, sir. I pass on to the other audience and respected faculty colleagues here too.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Bharat sir.
Yes,
I do
ma'am.
not have any question. It's a nice presentation. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
No question. Good presentation.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, Dr. Bharat. So due to short of time and unavailability of the rest of the participants, let us move to the feedback session. So I request the honorable dignitaries to kindly share their feedback. Let's start with the keynote speaker, Dr. Dheeraj Sharma sir. Please share your views.
I personally found all the papers interesting. All papers were contemporary. Most of them were talking about the digitization because of the COVID compulsion, the shift towards the online teaching, student satisfactions, digital banking, and so on and so forth. So all the papers were contemporary. I found them quite insightful. And the most interesting I found was the skill for Industry 4.0, but although that was quite a short one. Anyways, I learned a great deal here by being observing and listening to these papers. And I think I will open the floor for other faculty colleagues to give their feedback.
Thank you so much, sir, for your valuable feedback. Moving on to the co-session chair, Dr. Geeta Rana ma'am, please share your feedback.
I congratulate to the entire team of International Conference at Prestige Institute for organizing such an excellent conference in every sense.
Thank you so
And
much.
research paper presented were interesting, innovative, and very well delivered. And the online platform were properly managed. And I'm quite confident the paper presented here yield a few excellent what we call very excellent research paper and will be quite beneficial for society as well as academician also. So once again, thank you very much for such a wonderful event. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your worthy feedback.
Thank
Now I request the session chair, Dr. Harish Agrawal, sir. Please share your views.
Maximum paper out of scheduled papers presented, maximum, but few papers could not presented due to technical problems or other reasons. All papers were presented very efficiently and good manner. All papers were quality papers, and all papers are related with the theme of this international conference. The important thing is the research must be related with the social relevance or the social or society importance. Maximum paper having directly or indirectly of importance to society. Definitely discussion by the Dheeraj Sharma ji and Geeta Rana ji also very effective. and beneficial for the presenters. At the end, I would like to congratulate to the entire team of the Prestige Institute and Dr. Bakar sir. And I am very thankful to the Bakar sir and entire team to inviting to me here and be part of this prestigious international conference. Thanks.
Thank you so much, sir, for your words of wisdom. I thank all the honorable dignitaries, the participants, for being with us today. I, being the co-rapporteur, I ask the rapporteur of the session, Dr. Ram Paliwal, sir, to please deliver the vote of thanks.
Thank you, ma'am. It has been my pleasure to host all the participants of the conference in Prestige Institute of Management, Gwalior. And first of all, I would like to say thanks to our session chair, today's ceremony, that is Dr. Harish Agrawal. Thank you so much, sir. And I would like to thanks to Professor Dr. Geeta Rana, madam. Thank you so much, ma'am. And next, I would like to say thanks to our Professor Dr. Dheeraj Sharma, keynote speaker. Thank you so much, sir. I'm also thankful to our principal, sir, Dr. S.S. Bakar. Without his guidance, it is not possible to organize such event. I'm also thankful to the media for their coverage. And I'm also thankful to the student of PIMG. And at the last, thanks to everyone who is directly or indirectly support the event. Thank you very much. Be safe. Have a good day. Thank you, all of you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Paliwal sir, I just want to encroach upon your little time here.
Yeah.
And I missed out on mentioning this. I think in every conference I have attended at Prestige, I have mentioned this. I have attended and being invited in other conferences also, but the key difference which I could figure out is the impeccable. This is impeccable without even 0.1% of this is kind of a strange impeccable coordination between all the team of the organizing committee. And this is what I conveyed last year to Dr. Bhakar as well. And I was, very curious to know, and I asked this to him as well, how do you delegate so perfectly and how do you keep motivated all the faculty members so much that despite pushing them with so much,
It's all about your faith, sir. So that's why we are delivering in such a way.
Yeah, I should congratulate you on all the kind of, comradianhood or the collegium you people share among
thanks a lot,
Prestige faculty member. This is quite a, pleasing experience to see the team working in so much unison. My congratulations to the organizing committee here.
Thank you so much, sir. It is all because of you people only, sir.
Once again, thanks to all the panelists.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you.
So
nice.
Have a nice day.
Thank you so much, Tanni ma'am. Thank you so much, Tanni ma'am.
Thanks a lot, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you, Paliwal sir. Thank you so much, Harish sir. Thank you, Dheeraj sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, and thank you all participants.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, all of you.
So I am going to end the meeting. Thanks to all.
Thank you so much, everyone. Be safe.